The video you're about to see is for educational purposes only. What you do with this information is at your own risk. Thank you for watching. Enjoy.
How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today's video is going to be part 4 of the console app series. So let's go ahead and check it out. Alright, so the last video we're going to be doing is on the Sega Genesis app. So just like before, we're going to scroll through these titles very slowly and I'm going to talk about it. So with the Sega Genesis app, it's not as complicated as the SNES or the N64. However, they do still have a compatibility list. So I'm not sure which titles are not going to be working, but all the titles that you're going to see here on this video are working and have no issues that I know of. I did also Google what are the best titles ever on the Sega Genesis and added those. I used that list to add these titles. Also, I added the titles that I personally like as well. But these are the titles that are here. It does come already preloaded with some of them with the version with the latest version available. And that is the last one. So this last one is one of my favorites. It's called Sonic Heroes for the Sega Genesis. It's pretty much like the Dreamcast version, but in the 32-bit for the Sonic 2 and the Sonic 1. And I really like it. And it's a ROM hack, and I didn't know that you could add those or have any issues. So this is not part of the compatibility list. It's just something that I really liked and I added to see if it worked. It didn't have no box art, so this box art I had to make from myself. And yeah, so if there's any ROM hacks that you're interested in on any of the other apps, the NES, the SNES, and the Sega Genesis, I can try and add them. But I'll have to probably make the box art for myself. So it might not look as nice, but I tried. So that's the titles, guys. And before we actually start the process of where you can download the files and installing it, I'm going to go ahead and show here that the version I'm on, right under, you see right in the middle of the screen, it says Sega Genesis. Right under it says version 2.3.0. So this is what I was talking about on the previous video, where if you're not on this version, the pack's not going to work for you. So just letting you know that. But now that we've seen the app, let's go ahead and install it. Alright, so I rebooted my Switch back into Hecate, and I'm using the SD card tools to access my SD card. But once we have the SD card open, we can have it moved to the side and ready for file transfer. And I'd like to mention that you do need to have Custom Firmware already set up on your SD card or your Switch in order for this to work. But once we have the SD card ready, we can download this one zip file for today. And if you look in the description down below, there's going to be several links, and one of them should say the Download Sega Online Pack here. Once you click on that link, it should take you to the page where you can start the download process. And after that, you can have it dragged to the desktop like I have done already. Now with the zip file, we can use our zipping software to extract it. I highly recommend using 7-zip, and of course if you want to follow along with me with 7-zip, I'll leave a link in the description to 7-zip as well, so that way you can download it and follow along with me after. But with 7-zip, I'm going to open this archive, and here we'll see the one folder that's in this archive. We can just highlight it and extract it to the desktop. After you extract it, we can close out of this archive, and now we can open up this folder and see what's inside. So before we continue, I just want to talk about this for a little bit. Just like the previous videos, this pack has everything you need in order for you to get set up with the Sega Genesis app. So if you need the app, if you need an update, the pack has everything you need. So the titles, everything's there for you. So I'm sorry I keep repeating myself, but I just want to make sure, just in case this is the first video that you watch, it has everything you need. So if you look through the folders, you know what I'm talking about without trying to give as much detail as possible. So after you've installed the app and updated to the version that I'm using, which is I think 2.3.0, then you can transfer the files over. So with that, there's this one atmosphere folder, and it already has its directory to go into your SD card and be placed where it needs to be. So with that, all you need to do is just right click on it and copy, and then go to your SD card, and wherever your SD card is the root, which is the beginning of your SD card, not inside any files or folders, you're going to want to right click on any empty space in the SD card and click paste, and it's going to transfer all the files over. Now this is telling me that I have a lot of files with the same names. That's because I already have the pack installed on my SD card, and I'm just going to replace the files with the destination. Doesn't hurt anything for me, but if it doesn't say that to you, that's fine because you don't have it already. So I'm going to replace the files with destination, and we should be good to go. Alright, so the files have been transferred over to the SD card, and now we are done. So like I said, if you have your app installed and it's updated to the version that works with my pack, then you should be able to go back onto your Switch and open the app, and you should have all the titles that I have preloaded on this pack. So let's go ahead and check it out. Now we're done with the SD card, we can eject, and I'll see y'all back on the Switch. Alright, so we're back on the Switch home menu, and before I go back into the app, I just want to make sure and show y'all that right under the Sega Genesis logo or title, it says version 2.3.0. So if you have your version right now on this version 2.3.0, your app should have all the titles that are preloaded with my pack. So let's go ahead and check it out. Alright, so just like before, we have all the titles that I've added, and you should have the same. And of course, if it's brand new setup for y'all, it'll say that there's so many titles available for you to see, and you might have to unlock them. But that's pretty much it, guys. Everything seems to be working on my end. And of course, if you didn't see a game that I added on this pack, you can leave a comment down below, and I'll add all the titles accordingly. I will just update the pack, update the links, and let you know in the comments. So if you comment to me with an update for a title that you want, please keep out on the lookout for the comments when I reply to y'all. That way you know when I've updated, and you can go and download the new link or the new pack from the links and get you situated with that. But everything should work just fine. And just to show you, I'm going to play this one just because I really like this title the most, even though I did Ninja Turtles on all of them. But here you go. Everything works just fine, just like the other apps. You can hold down the buttons to rewind and stuff like that, and pretty much just like the other apps. But you have these Sega Genesis titles. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. And now I'm feeling guilty that I didn't do Ninja Turtles on this one, so I'm gonna go ahead and poke Ninja Turtles for this one. So I've always hated that the Sega Genesis Ninja Turtles wasn't the same as the SNES or the arcade version, and I did like this game a lot. When I found out that the SNES version and the arcade version were better, I was disappointed because I was following Sega since the beginning. So even with the Sonic Heroes, I loved it. Even on the Dreamcast was one of my favorite games, the Sonic Heroes. So that's pretty much it, guys. There's Ninja Turtles again, and Donatello is still the best. And yeah, so now that we have that there, I just want to show y'all that there is a compatibility list before we end off on this video. So I'm going to show y'all here that this is the app. It's the same exact software that I used for the SNES, the NES, and the N64, but it's just the titles that I added here. So these are the ones I added, and these are the ones that it comes with. So it was a good significant amount, just 80 games now. But yeah, so with the compatibility list, we can go through it real quick. And here it's really good for y'all to check this out if you're going to be requesting any more titles. So I highly suggest that you come to this area here and look at these options. So of course the white ones, they haven't been tested where it says undetermined. The green ones, or the lighter green, is the ones that are working, I guess, okay. And the light green ones are the official ones that came with the with the app already. So if you scroll here, I didn't know that there was so many error ones, but there's some here that like this is orange, crashes during boot, it's unplayable. This one has no audio. So before you ask me if there is a title that you want for me to add to the pack, come here and make sure that it's not in red. So if it's in red, then you'll know it's not working. So here we go. But if it's in white, I don't mind testing it out and checking to see if it works and letting y'all know that after. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it. Everything is working on my end, and I hope everything is working for you. And of course, if it doesn't, let me know and I'll try and help you out as best as I can. And I really hope it works for you. It should be straightforward, just extract. There shouldn't be no issues, especially with the Sega and the NES. But like I said, if it does, I'll help you out as best as I can and get you sorted out. So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Let me know if it works for you and things like that. But as always, I appreciate the support from you guys, and yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.